My life was on an extreme downward spiral. I was using heroin every day, several times a day, and basically all day. That was my waking up, that was my getting going through the day, and that was my going to sleep and preparing for my morning wake up. Right before I graduated, grammar school, eighth grade, that's when I started. So it was the neighborhood I was in, in Chicago, growing up on the west side. That was pretty much the status quo. You in the neighborhood, this is what the guys did. So to feel accepted, you kind of did this, not that you wanted to, but this is what everyone else was doing. So, that's kind of the trap I fell into. That was the end for me, yeah, because the bottom, of course, the bottom has a trap door. So it goes down further into death. So I look as that being the dead end for me, and it was the point to where I needed to turn it around or I was going to die. I was using actually, and I was at the point to where I'm tired. I need to get some treatment. I knew this wasn't, this was probably my third treatment, but I went because of other reasons, because of courts for one of them, and pressure from family for others. But this particular time, I was tired. I was here 10 years ago, and I knew that I needed to get away from the people and the surroundings and, all the activity that was going on in Chicago. I was starting to see killings right before my eyes and going to a lot of funerals and all of that type of stuff. So I needed a change, and I knew Minnesota was good to me. So I knew I didn't burn any bridges when I left 10 years ago. So I said, well, maybe I'll go back. So I packed all of my things in my car. I had a 2003 Cadillac DTS. I put everything I owned in my car and I drove here. To go there and complete a program because someone else wanted me to do it was easy, because it was just something more or less not what I wanted to do, but to do was, whether it was a probation thing to do. So I knew I wasn't going to go back to jail, so I had to do that. Though I knew if I wanted to continue a relationship, I wanted to finish it, just to satisfy that person before myself. At those particular times, I didn't really do it for me. But coming to a Christian faith-based program, this is something I wanted to do for me. So I had to surrender some of the things this time, that I wasn't really ready to surrender then, because this was all for me, nobody else this time. Well, when I walked in the door, I had a bag of heroin and I had a couple of cigarettes. So I knew that this was a long-term program. So, before I got here, I called one of my guys, said, man, give me one more bag. So I bought a bag and, I snorted it right before I walked in the door, and I smoked a cigarette right then because I knew this was it, So I was okay that day. That's when, the thoughts came to my mind, look, you got your car sitting over there. You still got some money. What are you doing here? What you doing, man? They won't even let you smoke in here. So those kind of cross-thinking patterns came in, and it had me thinking. I was, I had my cell phone. I wasn't supposed to have it, but I snuck it in. And Bill and Roy heard me say that. They probably beat me, but I snuck it in. I was making phone calls. Hey, you got any room in one of your places? I was calling some secular places that was close by, just to pacify my own addiction, just so I can go somewhere and still get high, still call myself in treatment. Using heroin for 22 years, I pretty much just stopped. I didn't use any Suboxones, any methadone. I wasn't medically treated. I stopped. It hurt a little bit, but, I just said to myself, once everything didn't work out, I just said, God, don't make it that bad on me. because I knew I was going to go through some physical withdrawals. I wanted to get up and move around, but I didn't because I couldn't really. I got up enough to go get something to eat, and while you're in the guest room, you don't have to go to any of the classes, and which I thought was a good thing that allows you time to detox. So it's the guest room is like a detox room. You either make it or break it in those 7 days. Even though you're in the program, you still try to push the rules to see how far you can get away with what you can get away with. You can't have headphones, so how long can you sneak around and keep your headphones? Your cell phone, if you get caught with it, you don't restrictions, so how long can you? Because I was watching people get caught with their headphones left and right, and caught with their telephones left and right. So, I was the same. I kind of pushed the envelope too. But as I learned the rules and things, I began to accept it. And after 30 days, they gave me my work assignment and all of that. And once they gave me that, I began to actually do the program. A lot of his classes really touched bases with some of the things that I knew in the Bible. And, he'll do things that'll have you interact with him and not just sit there. He'll have open-ended questions, and, he'll do a lot of things that you have to participate, or not have to, but it requires participation and, some role playing and some things. And, then after a while, you begin to want to share and want to do a lot of things in the classes because they begin to be fun, so you almost look forward to Bill's class, so that's pretty much how some of his classes worked out with me. I got a chance to share some things that I never shared with anybody before. The life of an addict, you keep things in, but once you clean up, there's a lot of emotions that you haven't dealt with your whole life. So, now that you around people that suggest that you get it out, I've had that opportunity to get a lot of that stuff out. It was God who led me here, out of, I could have went anywhere, but, he set my sights on this particular place. And he knew that this is what it was going to take for me to be real, for me to be what they call 100, for me to do the things that I have to do to be clean, because he knew that I'll be a good representative for him, but not dipping and dabbing and take a hit on the side or take a drink somewhere, sneaking, have a beer with nobody knows. No, he knew that when I was out there 100%. And he knew once I get clean, I was going to be 100% clean. There won't be no sneaking, no sliding, no dipping or no dabbing. He knew that. So he knew I had to come to a place where all the cigarettes and all of that stuff had to stop. I really feel today my temple is clean. I don't have no pollutants, in me. I always envisioned myself being a successful businessman. Even when I was a little 7-year-old kid, I didn't know what that meant, but I just liked it, what I seen portrayed as that. So I kind of thought that I'd be pretty good at doing that, but I didn't know how, where, or what, or how that was going to unfold. But seeing that, it unfolded the way it did, it seems divine. So I brought the menu back to Metro Hope, and I told the guys, I said, look, if I pass this menu test, I get the job, so I'm going to need y'all help. So I got on that chalkboard out there every day writing those sandwiches down, rehearsing them. So the guys will just sit there. It'd be 7 or 8 guys just sitting there while I'm writing this on the board. And they like, what are you doing? I said, I have to pass the test. If I pass the test, everybody getting free sandwiches for a year. They helped me. So they said, all right, turn your back. What's the number 14? What's the number 12? What's the slim one? What's the 3? What's the this? What's the that? So every time they said a 14, that's a bootlegger. What's a 15? That's a club tuna. What's a 12? That's a beach club. What's a 3? That's a regular tuna. What's a 2? I was, then they say, what's on the gargantuan? Gargantuan is the biggest sandwich, and they got all the ingredients. So I would run everything off. In that last week, I told the guys, okay, this is the last test. I want y'all to, test me on it. So I gave him all my paperwork. I said, I'm going to write this entire menu on the board. So I turned my back. By that time, 20 people was in there now because everybody got involved helping me. So, very quickly at that last moment, I took the test. Everybody was watching me, and I had my back turned to them, doing the writing everything down. And I got everything right. I missed this sandwich got cheese and this one don't. But it was very, very, I came so close to getting 100 on that with these guys. And everybody encouraged me, you're going to get it. You're going to do it. I went there and I got like a 98 something, 98 point something. I got everything right except, a couple, this sandwich, I missed like the Dijon on this. But I got everything right in the order, numerical, everything was right. I left out the office mad. And I went to, to my room upstairs. I'm like, I told my roommate, Jackie, he won't let me go to work, man. He like, man, boy, if I was you, boy, I tell you, I don't know, man. If I was you, I don't think I'd get that job, man. You know them jobs don't come that easy, man. That's how Jackie, my roommate, talk. You know them jobs don't come that easy, man. I'll tell you, if I was you, boy, I don't know, Bill. I don't know. So I didn't take the job. I did that for 4 days, and I got a text message from Jimmy John to say, hey, you still interested in the job? So I was on the computer at the telemarketer place. So I said I went to the washroom, because I'm like, So I called him. He said, hey, if you're still interested, come on down. I said, sure this time? He said, yeah, come on down, man. We'll get it right this time. So I went and I just did everything over and beyond. I did more than what was expected. I came early. I stayed late. So they immediately made me supervisor over people who've been there years. So, then it goes from the supervisor to assistant manager. And, it's going from there to the training to, it goes from assistant manager to GM. Then from GM, you go to seminars for a franchise owner. Recently, the area manager, the guy who basically hired me said, I'm so happy I hired you, man. You one of the best hires we ever did, man. And I know we had a little differences when we first met and I didn't hire you. He said, I'm so glad I called you back, man, because you have worked out over and well over than what we expected. So just the other day, another area manager came in. He said, hey, Billy, did your manager here tell you that you're the best assistant manager that the franchise has right now? And then I said, no, he didn't tell me that. He said, he didn't tell you that. Well, look, I'm telling you that right now, man. Nobody outdo you. This was just the other day. He said that you're the best assistant the franchise has now, man. I think we just need to tell you that. He has been, and he still is. He hasn't taken his sights off me, nor have he taken his hand off me. Because I can see by the way I'm walking and by the way I'm talking and the things that I do and the things that I'm not doing. He knows that I'm not a perfect individual, but he knows that I'm a work in progress that he's molding like clay. My mind was made up when I walked through the door. And it wasn't, I had a struggle once I got through the door, But the house manager, DA, one thing he said to me, he said, just stay one day. I said on the next day, he said, just stay one more day. That's all. That's all I ask. I know you want to go. I can look at your face, man. You hurting. Just stay one more day. Another day went by. That's all, man. Look, we're not asking. Just stay one more day. Free. Free. And it's not because of something that I did. It's something, apparently if I was able to do it myself, I would have did it a long time ago. So I couldn't do it on my own. So I had to give in. I had to submit fully. In doing that, a lot of that stuff has been released. And now I feel that, I have inner peace, joy, happiness, that I don't need others around me to solidify who I am. I have been redeemed. I'm free today. You know, I'm free in my thoughts. I'm free in my actions. I'm free in my words. You know, and I feel good today. I'm far from perfect, but I tell you what, you know, I want to hold on to what I'm doing now because it's working for me and I like it. And some days are better than others, but you know what? When I was out there in that mess, I had a lot of bad days. I had a lot more bad days than I'm having now.